Hey guys, my name is Tito. I make videos on personal finance on my other channel. On this channel, I talk about other things like today when I'll be reviewing the new Nollywood film on YouTube, Selina 3. This review will contain spoilers, so maybe go and see Selina 1, 2, and 3 first before watching the review. Another disclaimer is that I actually did not enjoy Selina 3, so bear that in mind before you go and invest like 4.5 hours watching the trilogy. So, Selina 3 pretty much picks up from where Selina 2 left off. And may I just say now that this film didn't go the way I thought it would go. I'll talk more about that later in this review. But back to what I was saying. So, Selina 3 starts with Reuben going to go and look for Seki, after she breaks up with him at the end of part 2. He finds her in her old house, or I don't even know if she got rid of the house, but she's in her place, right? And they talk, and Seki is adamant that she doesn't want to get back with Reuben, that they're just too different, it cannot work. And she's very adamant about it. Reuben has to leave, he's heartbroken, but as it stands, they're no longer together. And the things that happened thereafter were quite weird in that portion of the film, because now Nora has heard that yes, they're broken up, but she also wants her brother to be happy, so she organizes another baby friend of hers, Daisy, to try and cheer her brother up. But if it was that, it would have been a bit more sensible. But it felt like Nora was organizing or arranging her friend Daisy to seduce her brother. And that was just, it felt all shades of wrong as I was watching it. It felt very, very off and very annoying because she kept on talking about how Daisy should make herself look physically presentable and whatnot and essentially seduce her brother. And that was just very off. And what really blew my mind was the dinner scene. I know you guys have seen the movie. You probably know what I'm talking about. When they're sitting at the table having dinner and Daisy is there and she's not even trying to make small talk or making any efforts to try and get to know this guy. She's just cutting eye for Reuben and trying to seduce him with her face and her body, and it was super tacky and very annoying. But what really, really blew my mind was when Daisy got up. Oh, first, Reuben pours himself a glass of water. The water hasn't finished. Daisy says, let me go and get some more water. She gets up. The water hasn't finished, the water's on the table. She gets up, goes to the kitchen door, doesn't enter the kitchen, comes back and sits down. I was like, where's the water you said that you're going to go and get? It was incredibly tacky, very annoying, and between Nora and Daisy, I was quite irritated. Anyway, back to Seki. So the majority of the film is about Seki and Angel and their friendship and how they're encouraging one another because now they're both back at rock bottom. They're without jobs and without men. So they're trying to figure things out and make ends meet, right? And that's the majority of the film. And I was surprised by that because from what we saw in part 2 with Seki having this low self-esteem, even though she's with this fantastic guy, Reuben, I thought part 3 would be about Seki continuing to pursue her dreams and her goals without Reuben, finishing the cooking school, opening her restaurant, really getting on her feet, building her self-esteem and her self-worth, and then realizing that, yes, I'm now the kind of woman that can be with somebody like Reuben. So that's where I thought the film would go. Instead, they spent so much time on Seki and Angel trying to find work and doing all these, menial jobs and whatnot to try and make ends meet. And all those small portions felt like a collection of skits at one point, particularly the portion where Seki goes to model. That it was funny, but it didn't really feel like it had context in the rest of the film because modeling is not something that Seki would do. Yeah, she wanted to make money, but it just felt like a funny moment or something that they just put in there for humor. It didn't feel like it tied into the rest of the film or to Seki's story. And Angel, wasn't left out. Angel went back to the streets, apparently, even though twice, even though she didn't really do anything. But the fact that she went back to the streets made me question if she was really a changed woman or not. And the part of the film where Angel goes back to the streets, as a lady of the night, and that guy picks her up and everything, that moment in the car, that had to be one of the cringiest moments I've seen in a Nollywood film in a very, very long time. You guys remember the scene, the guy, he sees other ladies of the night, he sees Angel, tells her to get in, so they're going to where they're going to do the do, right? And then Angel has an attack of conscience. She says she wants to come down and she stopped the car. She gets out of the car and then the guy says, no, wait. And he counts money. He counts money and gives Angel that, she should be on her way. I was like, wow. So good Samaritans, they carry runs girls too, right? Is that what you guys are saying? But it's even the giving her money thing that really blew my mind. Because in a real life situation, if that were to happen, a guy who picks up ladies of the night picks one up and they're going, and she tells him to stop and that she wants to calm down, he's gonna be pissed, you know? So it's a miracle. It would have even been a miracle if the guy just kept quiet and he didn't like berate her and he let her out of the car. He would have been considered an all-right human being in that moment. But for him to have now counted 5K and to have given her I was like, yes, now I've seen it all in Nollywood films. That was, I don't even know if ridiculous covers what that moment or that scene was. Anyway, to cut a long story short, to solve their financial problems, Angel convinces Seki to enter a cooking competition so that they can win the prize of 1 million naira and so she can start the business, the restaurant business, right? Seki eventually does, they raise the funds, she enters the competition, she wins, and everything seems to be all right. She's not really thinking about Reuben. But when Nora sees that her brother Reuben is still sad over the breakup and everything, she, goes to Seki, apologizes to her, and asks her to come back into her brother's life. Seki is still adamant. She says no, she's not going back to Reuben. I think that's when Nora tells Seki that that competition that she won was actually organized by her brother Reuben. And I think this is a good time for me to start talking about all the things that were wrong with this film, Selina 3. First of all, Nora shouldn't have told Seki that the competition was a sham created by her brother. I don't think Reuben would have been happy if he knew that Nora told Seki that. Secondly, Nora herself. In part 2, Nora was set up as this antagonist. She really antagonized Seki. Seki ultimately left the house because of her. So we're expecting in part 3 that there'd be justice. That, Nora would be brought to book, she'd be put in her place. That didn't happen, and Nora did not really get told off. She didn't get put in her place. She wasn't a changed woman. She only went to go and reconcile or say sorry to Seki because of her brother and because of the fact that her brother was just sad. It felt like she was still a terrible person, and that made the film underwhelming for me, and I was quite disappointed because I was really looking forward to Nora getting what she deserved. The third thing is that, what was the message of this film at the end of the day? Honestly, was the message, true love conquers all? Was the message the power of friendship? Or was the message the fact that if you create a fake competition for your ex-girlfriend to win 1 million naira, that she's going to ultimately come back to you? Was that the message? What was the point of this 1 hour and however minutes of this film that I watched? I really didn't know what the message was, and I feel like that was a huge error on the part of the makers of this film. This film should have been a good opportunity to teach on self-confidence and self-worth and how you can develop yourself to, just create an image of yourself that you are proud of. Because if that was done with Seki's character, which I don't think it was in this film, she would have built her confidence and, gone back to start a relationship or go back to her relationship basically with Reuben. Instead, what happened at the end of the day was that she entered a fake competition that was rigged in her favor. She got money organized by her ex-boyfriend and she went back to the ex-boyfriend, essentially because of money. Nothing changed with her personality-wise or self-confidence-wise or anything like that. And another thing, while I'm pissed and talking about the things that annoyed me about this film, the whole abduction scene where Femi, who it felt like they forgot about Femi all throughout the film and all the trouble he caused in part 2, he resurfaces at the surprise party and he, later on he abducts or appears to abduct Seki and takes her to where Reuben proposes to her. That was very triggering. That, even if it was a film, that didn't seem logical, that you would abduct someone in a traumatizing way and manner because your friend wants to, propose to her, because that's the plan for him to propose. That was very off for me. I really did not like that. And, the film as well. Reuben, from what I remember in part 1, was a doctor. In this film, there was nothing to indicate that this guy is a doctor or to show where he worked. If you watch my reviews, I like details. And those details were seriously lacking in this film. The final thing that really ticked me off about this film was how unnecessarily long certain scenes were. The scene of the surprise party was unnecessarily long. The scene where Johnny and Angel got back together and were feeding each other and drinking and just playing love, that was unnecessarily long. After the proposal on the boat, with Seki and Reuben, they were just there doing whatever. That was unnecessarily long. So many things felt out of place in this film, and at the end of the day, it felt like a waste of my time, especially given how things were set up in part 2 and how impressive Selina 2 was. So all in all, I'm a bit disappointed that the trilogy, parts 1 to 3, ended up this way. I wish things were done better, more intentionally and more intelligently with this film, Selina 3. I feel like I'm not alone. I feel like a lot of people, I've chatted with a couple of people already about Selina 3. Some people were not happy with it. Maybe some were, but I think the majority of, people who have seen Selina 3 will feel like it didn't meet up to their expectations and wasn't as good as Selina 1 or 2, which at the end of the day is quite a shame. I was really looking forward to this film, as you'd know if you've seen my previous review. On that note, guys, I'm worked up. Let me shut it down. If you enjoyed this movie review, please like it by clicking on the like button just underneath the video. You know where it is. And subscribe to my channel as well by clicking on the red subscribe button. On this channel, I don't just do Nollywood movie reviews. I also talk about relationships. To check out some of my past Nollywood reviews or my relationship videos, you can click the card in the corner of the screen. You can also watch my review of Selina 2 if you haven't already. Yeah, what else is there to say? I still think 2022 is Bimbo Ademoye's year. She's done, particularly after Anikulapo, which also came out last week. She's done rather well. Hopefully, not King of Boys, Gangs of Lagos will come out before the end of the year. And she's also in that. And I hope with that, this will really solidify 2022 as Bimbo Ademoye's year, in spite of this film, Selina 3, which I did not like. Thanks for watching for the final time, guys. Let me know what you thought about Selina 3 in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Instagram or on Twitter. My handle is @Eniola Tito. I'll catch you guys real soon. I have other movies that I have to review this month, October. I'm looking forward to that. Look out for that. And I guess I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.